Yeah, Ellie.
Do you have a service order?
No, I got the refund, made the exchange, and then he said go to the warehouse.
Hey, it's a miracle. My controller actually works. Ellie. You go a little bit this way, and then people will be able to see more of you. I can go a little bit this way. There we go. It what you off that app. Lay the way you were laying. I just wanted to be more in the center of the camera. I can only see the corner of your ear. That's no good. Get up here from.
Fade? You're not quite how I imagined you.
Looks can be deceiving. So, which one of you wants to disappear?
I'd rather see you make someone reappear.
That's not the service we provide.
Make an exception. Just this once.
Damn it. Quick! Shoot them! Shoot them, you lumbering mountain!
Too slow.
Why do I even bother?
We're looking for someone. A client of yours.
Not mine. I'm not Fade. I just work for him. Sort of.
I knew it.
Well, then maybe you'd like to tell us where to find him.
Yes, of course. He's in the factory district. Works out of the old prefab foundry.
I know the place.
Oh, he's got a lot of mercs there. Blue Suns. Harkin thinks they're protecting him.
How the hell did Harkin end up being the Fade?
Well, he got fired from CSEC a while back. He used his knowledge of CSEC and their systems to help a few people disappear. Then he made himself disappear, and Fade was born, so to speak.
Interesting. But it changes nothing. We still need to find him before we can get to Sedonis.
Well, let's go pay Harkin a visit.
We'll need to go to the transit station. I can get us to him from there.
So,
Sorry.
I can go?
Sure, but if we don't find Harkin, we'll be back for you.
Oh, good.
Nothing else in here.
him on the wards market. He sent me here. Come on, why do I need a service order?
The Wards Market? Why would you come to a Zakara Ward warehouse?
He said they're out of stock and I should go here. He didn't say anything about a service order.
Without a service order, I really can't help you.
Ugh.
Visit this human from before.
Wait, this was a trick, wasn't it? He sent me to the wrong place just to get me to leave.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Been trying to get this refund for 2 years. 2 years! I'm not giving up now.
You'd get a lot farther in life if you just held on to your service orders and receipts.
This is a continuation of the guy from before.
I just got a refund and exchange and I was told to pick up a new Omni Gel converter here.
I don't think you have the right place.
No, they said to go to the warehouse. This is the warehouse. Look, it took me a long time to get this refund. It's a Cision Omni Gel converter. He said there'd be one waiting for me.
Do you have a service order?
No, I got the refund, made the exchange, and then he said go to the warehouse. I just talked to him on the wards market. He sent me here. Come on, why do I need a service order?
The Wards Market? Why would you come to a Zakara Ward warehouse?
He said they're out of stock and I should go here. He didn't say anything about a service order.
Without a service order, I really can't help you.
Ugh.
Yeah, I think we've heard the whole discussion.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Shepard, we know times are tough. Station records show that you made only 0 credit last year. If you need something to get you to your next paycheck on error did not found, Lead Cause Pawn and Payday Low can help. We offer credit on the spot for personal
There he is.
Shepard? Don't just stand there. Stop them! Stop them!
Run all you want, Harkin. We'll find you.
Get ready. One step closer.
And we're about to break! Forget who Harkin is. I'm just curious. Like, what kind of interactions do we... Ellie, no! Why? You just left me. Okay, now you're gonna be where you wanted to be in the first place. That's all right. Oh. He's the guy who helps us find Garrus.
One less to worry about.
You're taking away all my fun.
Engaging target.
Hell, I have full shields.
Harkin's in here somewhere. I can smell him.
Firing a high impact shot.
What the heck? The hell? Why am I dying here of all places? Hey.
Brace the seat.
There's a lot of bypass things in here.
Getting close.
Enemy! There we go! Watch out! Time to die!
And there's Cybermechs in the base game. Confirmed. Why don't we fight one of them? Before.
What the hell is Harkin up to?
So,
Oh.
Harkin's finally gone completely bad.
He was always a pain in the ass, but I'm in no mood for his games. If he doesn't cooperate, I'll beat him within an inch of his life.
You seem to be getting tense, Garrus.
Harkin may know why Sidonis wanted to disappear. If so, he knows why we're here, and I don't want him tipping Sidonis off. Did you see that?
I saw something.
He's getting ready for us.
What are you gonna do to Harkin if he won't cooperate?
He's a real criminal now, working for the Blue Suns. I should just shoot him on sight, but I need him alive, so I won't do any permanent damage. Just enough to loosen his tongue.
Well, there's one way to find out.
Right behind you.
There's so many bypass puzzles here. It's kind of ridiculous. Maybe I should give it a negative. I'm kidding. Where you going, Ellie? On that lap saw. Just so much hacking. At least there's some variety between the two different hacking mini games, but still.
Shepard, I have patched into the warehouse scanners. The crates in the transport carriers overhead are rigged to explode when dropped.
Good to know.
Target right.
Scratch one!
Detecting a sys popped out for a downing.
One falls.
Shield to fail.
Reach the sea.
Rerouting power.
Really?
Fire in the hole. Hostiles up ahead.
Go now to the sea.
Systems engaged.
What's a rig to explode or something?
Light 'em up.
One falls. Go in peace.
I'll light 'em up.
Hey, are they just... Is this mechanic just broken?
Spread your matter to the scene.
This should slow him down.
Can't reach the
It's going to bring this.
This is a weird area where I'm not sure if it should be a negative or not. So we misunderstood it, or... I don't know. I guess there are other spots where...
Two heavy mechs incoming.
Do you really think you can take me down, Shepard?
I did.
Oh, crap.
Two heavy mechs incoming.
Do you really think you can take me down, Shepard?
What the hell?
Ready to explode.
Really? I can't save.
You'll never make it. I see you.
What?
Can't get
Okay.
One falls.
You were close, but not close enough.
So, Fade. Couldn't make yourself disappear, huh?
Come on, Garrus. We can work this out. What do you need?
I'm looking for someone.
Well, I guess we both have something the other one wants.
We're not here to ask favors, Harkin.
You don't say.
You helped a friend of mine disappear. I need to find him.
I might need a little more information than that.
His name was Sedonis. Turian came from the...
I know who he is, and I'm not telling you squat.
Harkin, this doesn't have to be hard.
Screw you. I don't give out client information. It's bad for business.
You know what else is bad for business? A broken neck.
All right. Get off me.
Good cop, bad cop here.
Changed you, huh, Garrus?
No, but Sidonis opened my eyes. Now arrange a meeting.
I'm going. Yeah, it's me. There's a chance your identity may be compromised. That's why I'm calling. I'm sending an agent. Where do you want to meet? All right, he'll be there. Don't worry, I got it covered. It's all good. He wants to meet you in front of Orbital Lounge, middle of the day. So, if our business is done, I'll be going.
I don't think so. You're a criminal now, Harkin.
So, what? You're just gonna kill me? That's not your style, Garrus.
Kill you? No. But I don't mind slowing you down a little. Maybe give Cece the blood trail a follow.
Bastard!
Yeah.
We're done here.
Sidonis better be there, or I'm coming back to finish the job. Harkin's a bloody menace. We shouldn't have just let him go. He deserved to be punished.
I'm getting a little worried about you, Garrus. You were pretty hard on Harkin.
You don't think he deserved it?
He's just not like you.
What do you want from me, Shepard? What would you do if someone betrayed you?
I'm not sure, but I wouldn't let it change me.
I would have said the same thing before it happened to me.
It's not too late. You don't have to go through with this.
Who's going to bring Sidonis to justice if I don't? Nobody else knows what he's done. Nobody else cares. I don't see any other options.
Let me talk to him.
Talk all you want, but it won't change my mind. I don't care what his reasons were. He screwed us. He deserves to die.
I understand what you're going through, but do you really want to kill him?
I appreciate your concern, but I'm not you.
This isn't you either.
Really? I've always hated injustice. The thought that Sidonis could get away with this. Why should he go on living while 10 good men lie in unmarked graves? I'm sorry, Shepard. Words aren't going to solve this problem. I need to set up. I can get a clear shot from over there.
What do you need me to do?
Keep him talking and don't get in my way. I'll let you know when he's in my sights. Give me a signal so I know you're ready, and I'll take the shot. You better go. He'll be here soon.
That was a little editing error there. Not necessarily worry of a negative, just
Loud and clear.
All right. There he is. Wave him over and keep him talking.
Let's get this over with.
You're in my shot. Move to the side.
Listen, Sidonis, I'm here to help you.
Don't ever say that name aloud.
I'm a friend of Garrus. He wants you dead, but I'm hoping that's not necessary.
Garrus, is this some kind of joke?
Damn it, Shepard. If he moves, I'm taking the shot.
You're not kidding, are you? Screw this. I'm not sticking around here to find out. Tell Garrus I had my own problems.
Don't move.
Get off me!
I'm the only thing standing between you and a hole in the head.
Fuck. Look, I didn't want to do it. I didn't have a choice.
Everyone has a choice.
They got to me. Said they'd kill me if I didn't help. What was I supposed to do?
Let me take the shot, Shepard. He's a damn coward.
That's it? You were just trying to save yourself?
I know what I did. I know they died because of me. I have to live with that. I wake up every night, sick and sweating. Each of their faces staring at me, accusing me. I'm already a dead man. I don't sleep. Food has no taste. Some days, I just want it to be over.
Just give me the chance.
You've got to let it go, Garrus. He's already paying for his crime.
He hasn't paid enough. He still has his life.
Look at him, Garrus. He's not alive. There's nothing left to kill.
My men, they deserved better.
Tell Garrus. I guess there's nothing I can say to make it right.
Just go. Tell him to go.
He's giving you a second chance, Adonis. Don't waste it.
I'll try, Garrus. I'll make it up to you somehow. Thank you for talking to him.
I know you want to talk about this, but I don't. Not yet.
I know it didn't go the way you planned, but I think it's for the best.
I'm not so sure.
Give it time.
Yeah. Maybe that'll be enough. I want to know I did the right thing, not just for me. For my men. They deserve to be avenged. But when Sidonis was in my sights, I just couldn't do it.
The lines between good and evil blur when we're looking at people we know.
Yeah, there was still good in him. I could see it. So much easier to see the world in black and white. Gray. I don't know what to do with gray.
You've got to go with your instincts.
My instincts are what got me into this mess.
Don't be too hard on yourself.
Thanks, Shepard. For everything. Let's get going. I need some distance from this place.
I'm with you.
We are very much chaotic good in a sense. Like, we're for vigilante justice, but this kind of thing is different, I guess. Like, when it's personal, it's different.
This recruits is a 20-kilo ferrous slug. Feel the weight. Every 5 seconds, the main gun of an Everest-class dreadnought accelerates 1 to 1.3%.
We'll do another information positive. I might give a control positive for the choice. The control positive for that you can basically have Garrett shoot the guy at any point in the conversation. Because effectively there's a point where it kind of can become a little bit of a mercy killing. Or but that's not like our perspective, but that could be our perspective. And in alternate reality, as we ponder the question, what if? Um, but yeah.
Yes?
My associate is trying to find his son. We think a local criminal may have hired him.
That should be easy. We don't see many drow here. There we go. One of my men reported a drow recently. And he was talking to Mouse. Interesting.
Mouse?
Ah, petty criminal. Probably not the guy who hired your boy, but a messenger. He's a former duct rat. Runs errands for anyone who'll pay.
I've heard enough.
Mouse is usually upstairs outside the Dark Star. He works out of a public comm terminal. It sounds like your boy's running with the wrong crowd.
Yes, I agree.
If Mouse can't get you in touch with your son directly, he'll know who can. I'll help you if you need it.
We better hurry then.
You didn't tell him that Kolgat plans to assassinate someone.
We're gonna stop him before that happens, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Thank you, Shepard.
I'm thinking the body of the Dark Star Lounge. Oh boy. Also, we need to figure out who could give that fake ID thing to. Hey, someone. Oh yeah, here.
I can get that. No problem. Well, okay, that might be more difficult. No, that's fine. I got some clients with strict copy protection. Just
That's not actually a question of whether or not we should dance. It's a question of whether or not what we do is dancing. How do we get up there? How does anyone get up there? There's really not a whole lot to do in here, aside from dance, or.
Will it be? Hear about anything interesting going on around here?
I serve drinks. You want to know what's going on? Check the news.
I don't know why humans always ask me that.
I'm done for now.
Let me know if you change your mind.
I'd potentially give it a negative for Darkstar, but probably just wasted potential.
I wish they still made role-playing games like they used to. These days, it's all big choices and visceral combat. I miss those old games, where you had to remember to drink water, and it took 5 hours real time to fly somewhere.
Yeah, sure. I can get you 2 cases by the end of the day.
You mouse?
What are you... Oh, shit. Krios. I thought you retired. Commander Shepard?
Trying to get in.
Died. What do you want with me?
Be still, Mouse. You can change your pants in a moment.
Would you stop that?
How do you know Thane?
Krios? He didn't... If he didn't say nothing, I ain't either.
When we heard the name, I didn't think it could be the same Mouse. He was a contact on the Citadel when I was active. He and some other children would gather information on my targets.
We need you to answer some questions.
The people
I didn't know we'd do that.
I can't answer questions for just anybody.
But you can for me. You gave another Drell instructions for an assassination. Who's the target?
I don't know. I didn't ask. Because the people I work for, they can make me disappear. I'd like to help you, Krios. You always done right by us, but I ain't gonna die for you.
Look, you know Thane. He wouldn't ask if it wasn't important. Do it for him.
I want to. He was always nice to us. But these people ain't nice, Krios.
Nobody's gonna know you talk to us.
Mouse, I swear that you won't be named.
All right, all right. He came with that hollow you took of me. Said he wanted a job. I ran through your old contacts to see who might give him a shot. The guy who offered was Elias Kellum.
Tell me about Kellum.
Human. Moved to the Citadel about 10 years ago. He was Little People when you were here, Krios. He got big after the Geth attack. Lots of the big guys from before got cacked, all in them big fancy apartments up on the Presidium. Now he runs the rackets on the lower end of the ward. Shin Akiba. He's seriously bad news.
You did good, Mouse.
Yeah. Hope I live long enough to pat myself on the back.
Kellum will never know.
I hope not. I'm out of here, Krios. Next time you're in town, just don't bring the family.
That couldn't have been easy.
Mouse knew more about my life than Kolyat ever did. He smiles up at me, broken teeth and scabby knees. Bare feet black. A dead-end future looking up at me, worshipping the petty gifts I offer. I was the only good thing he had back then. But I left him, as I left Kolyat.
Mouse said you had a hollow of him.
Yes. A foolish bit of sentimentality. I can perfectly recall every moment I spent with Mouse. He pulls at my arm, smiles. He wants to know that I'll remember him, that anyone will remember him. I take the hollow. He smiles at himself in miniature on my palm. Then a frown crinkles his brow. He pats my pockets, checking for other hollows. Where's your son, Krios, he asks.
Don't blame yourself.
If I don't, who will? We must carry the weight of our decisions, Shepard. You, of all people, know this.
Let's head back to Bailey.
We need to. I may have to actually look for a walkthrough for this.
Yes?
Can we talk about my associate's son?
You talked to Mouse? Did you get the name of the guy he's working with?
Elias Kellum.
Kellum. Shit. Look, this is awkward. Kellum and I have an agreement. He doesn't cause too much trouble and buys tickets to the CSEC charity ball from me. In return, I ignore him.
Will you still help us?
I'll get some of my people to bring him in and set him up in a private room. You can interrogate him yourself. I'll stay out of sight, and if I'm lucky, Kellum will believe that I had nothing to do with it.
Bring him in. We might not have much time.
I'll make it happen. Wait here.
We've got Kellum. Tell Bailey we're ready.
I might not cheat this time with the Paragon option. Because basically we could use...
expect me to get him out of this.
Not today, I think.
Captain, his lawyer's here. Bet Elias has his VI set to page him if CSEC gets within 10 meters.
I'll stall him. Get in there and work fast.
We should question him together. Keep the pressure on. Thoughts on how we approach it?
I never really saw the full thing. I think, like, it's a weird scenario where, like, it's actually less advantageous to use the, at least in a presentational sense, to, you know, we have him be the good cop or the bad cop. I just think it might be funny for us to be the bad cop. I think we'd probably be better being the bad cop just because we are, like, kind of a good-natured person. So it's just more fun for us to be the bad cop.
You talk to him. Appeal to his self-interest. I'll put the screws to him if he needs it.
Very well. I'll pretend to be on his side. But if we waste too much time negotiating, Bailey won't be able to stall Kellum's advocate.
Get me out of these restraints, Bailey. Pretty funny bringing me down here like this. Who the hell are you two?
You ordered a hit on someone. You're gonna tell me who?
The only person I'm talking to is my advocate.
Here's how it works. I ask a question, you answer the question. You speak when you're spoken to.
Who the fuck you think you are, you little
Mr.
shit?
Kellum, I don't believe you were paying attention.
Nice. You just handed me your job. Hit me again and I'll take your money too. I'm gonna straighten you out as soon as Bailey gets here.
Just tell us what we need to know. My associate isn't very patient.
What are you, frog boy? His little sidekick? What, kid? You gonna bore me into confessing? You ain't shit. Come on, hit me. I dare you.
Works for me.
No! Do you know what I'll do to you when I get out of here?
Keep it up, tough guy. You'll leave in a bag.
Go to hell.
Ease up. He's no use to us dead.
Are we done here? Because I got people to see.
I'm done being patient. Give me a name or I'll cut your balls off and sell them to a Krogan.
Joram! Joram Talid. Dorian in the 800 blocks.
He's unconscious. No need to wake him up, I think.
He'll wake up with a headache. No permanent damage. We have Kolyat's target. Let's get to Talid before he does.
Agreed.
What's the story? Kellum hired the boy.
Assassination. A Turian named Joram Talid. You know him?
Joram? Yeah. You might have seen his posters around. He's promising to end organized crime on the ward. Thing is, his message is all mixed up in race politics. He's anti-human.
If a majority votes for him, like it or not, that's how the system works.
That's a nice ideal, Shepard. Sergeant, get a patrol car. These two need to get to the 800 blocks.
Yes, sir.
There he is. How do you want to play this?
Follow Talid on the maintenance catwalks. Tell me what he's doing. The Krogan bodyguard will make him easy to follow.
Where will you be?
The darkest corner with the best view. Amon Kira, Lord of Hunters. Grant that my hands be steady, my aim be true, and my feet swift. And should the worst come to pass, grant me forgiveness.
It's been wonderful talking with you all. I hope you'll come out on election day.
You can count on it.
Show the humans they won't get their way.
Ha! Thanks. Just remember, it's not all about the humans. They couldn't have gained this much power with...
I'm on him, Thane. He's talking to some voters.
Understood.
You're in position?
Yes.
It's been wonderful talking with you all. I hope you'll come out on election day.
I'm following. Have you got him?
Looks like he's talking to another voter.
Any sign of Kolyat?
No.
I'm moving to another position. Ahead of him.
It's been wonderful talking with you all. I hope you'll come out on election day.
Stay close, Shepard. No problem so far. Do you have the target?
I've got him.
Target in sight. Can you give me an update? I'm almost in position. He's letting the bodyguard do all the work. That lets him deny involvement. No sign of trouble.
That's interesting. It looks like we could. There's like an interaction with the door, even though like we could never actually come down here.
I see him. I'm following. No problem so far.
There they are.
What's he doing?
One of his guards is talking to the bartender. Looks like a shakedown.
I'm relocating to the next room. Let me know if anything changes. Target in sight. No sign of Joe Barisi now.
Yes, sir. You're running for office. Lots of people watch you.
He's meeting a couple of mercenaries. Looks like the same group his bodyguard comes from.
He looks nervous. Could be he's noticed you.
Maybe he saw Kolyat in here somewhere.
Also a possibility. There are obstructions ahead. I'll try to go around. Don't lose him.
Someone's walking on my grave, or thinking about it.
Yes, sir.
Hey, who are you? What are you doing back here?
I'm with Citadel Health and Safety. We've had vermin reports in storage areas around here.
What? You can't be serious. How did you get in here?
If I didn't have authorization, how did I get in? You see any other doors?
There's the keeper. Never mind. Just go on through, okay?
Thanks.
Yeah. Just don't let my boss see you.
Stay with him. No problem so far.
Okay.
Kolyat!
Thane!
I saw.
He's heading to Khalid's apartment.
Kolyat.
This is a joke. Now you show up.
Help me, Drell. I'll do whatever you want.
C-Sec, put the gun down, son.
Get out of my way.
Hurry.
I'm walking out. He's coming with me.
They'll have snipers outside.
I don't need your help.
Oh,
What the hell?
a Paragon.
Tell him to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I will.
Take the boy into custody.
You son of a bitch!
Your father doesn't have much time left, Kolyat. He's trying to make up for his mistakes.
What? So you came to get my forgiveness? So you can die in peace or something?
I came to grant you peace. You're angry because I wasn't there when your mother died.
You weren't there when she was alive. Why should you be there when she died?
Your mother. They killed her to get to me. It was my fault.
What?
After her body was given to the deep, I went to find them. The triggermen, the ringleaders. I hurt them. Eventually killed them. When I went back to see you, you were older. I should have stayed with you.
I guess it's too bad for me you waited so long, huh?
Kolyat, I've taken many bad things out of the world. You're the only good thing I ever added to it.
This isn't a conversation you should have in front of strangers. Boys, take Kolyat and his father back to the precinct. Give them a room and as much time as they need.
You're doing him a favor, Bailey. Thanks.
Yeah, well, send me a Christmas card or something. I have to get back to the precinct. Come on, I'll give you a lift.
We can get positive for Captain Bailey as a character overall. I'm not sure if we're gonna give any of the loyalty missions a negative, to be honest. Um,
They've been in there a while.
The kid's been through a lot. I ran some searches in the CSEC archive. About 10 years back, a bunch of real bad people were killed. Like someone was cleaning house. The prime suspect was a drill. We never caught him.
Someone like that is trouble you don't want to deal with.
Someone's got to deal with it. Doesn't have to be me, though.
How'd it go?
Our problems they aren't something I can fix with a few words. We'll keep talking, see what happens.
Your boy shot some people. No one I feel sympathy for, but there it is.
I watched those guys shaking down businesses and threatening humans.
But he can't just get away with it.
The kid wants to make a difference. Give him community service.
Community service for attempted murder? What jury would agree to that?
None that I've seen. This would need to stay out of the judiciary. Strictly within CSEC.
Interesting. I'll think about it.
Thank you, Captain.
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
I think this won't actually. I swear, my fish are dead. Okay. I think it's basically a per trip, not necessarily per mission. And if you hug a kill up, piss on your grave. I thought I already read that.
Do you need something?
Have a few minutes to talk?
Certainly.
If you don't mind my saying, you don't really seem like an assassin.
You've spent too much time fighting thugs who think custom-painted armor makes them professionals. The Hanar trained my body for this role since I was 6 years old.
You've been killing since you were 6?
Of course not. I didn't make my first kill until I was 12. They were training me. I was not to be used and thrown away. I was an investment.
You were a child, not an investment.
I've given you the wrong idea. They valued me, yes, as a resource, but also as a person. They regretted their need for me.
The Hanar? Excessively polite, worship the Protheans? They don't seem the type who'd train assassins.
Every species trains assassins. The Hanar are only unusual in that they need other species to do the killing for them. They have a strong grip and natural toxins, but have you ever seen one move quickly outside of water? Or fire a gun?
Why did your parents agree to this?
The agreement was made under the Compact. It was an honor for our family.
The Compact?
We live on the Hanar homeworld because they rescued us. Some of us from extinction. We owe them our lives. That is the Compact.
What exactly are the terms of the Compact?
There are many things the Hanar can't do, even with mechanical aid. They ask Drell to assist them.
This can't be legal. They made your whole race into slaves.
Don't insult me, Shepard. Anyone can refuse to serve. Few do. We owe our existence to the Hanar. We are proud to repay the debt.
Hanar sound like wimps.
Why was your race going extinct?
Overpopulation. That must sound trite to you. Humans developed mass effect drive before the problem became acute. Our homeworld, Rakana, had few resources. We hadn't even developed fusion power when the soil began to fail from overuse and pollution. The Hanar found us a century ago. They sent hundreds of ships, evacuated thousands of us. Billions more had to be left behind.
What's the state of Rakana now?
Do you read your philosophers? A man named Thomas Hobbes. When all the world is overcharged with inhabitants, then the last remedy of all is war, which provideth for every man by victory or death. As Rakana died around them, my people slaughtered each other for mouthfuls of water, crumbs of food.
But you don't kill for the Hanar anymore. You're freelance. What changed?
I was asleep for a long time, yes. I paid no attention to what my body was asked to do, but then... Laser dot trembles on the skull. One finger twitch. He dies. Then, the smell of spice on the spring wind. Sunset-colored eyes, defiant in the scope. The laser dances away. My apologies. Drell slip into memory so easily.
And I would play.
Is that one of your assassinations?
Yes. Perhaps we can discuss it later. I've wasted too much of your time. Do you need something?
You mind if I ask you a few questions?
Not at all.
We need to have the best equipment possible to take
I've
over
already
the
upgraded the Normandy's exploration probes. I have no additional suggestions.
There's something else I'd like to talk about.
Ask.
I should go.
I shall return to my meditations.
Commander, what can I do for you?
You have a minute, Miranda?
There's a lot to do, Shepard. Maybe another time.
I'll let you work.
Of course, Commander.
We may have, what, 2 realty missions left, I think, maybe? We have Samara, and we have Jacob. I think that's it.
Shepard, need me for something?
Have you got a minute?
Sure, just killing time anyway. I wanted
With
to thank you
calibration.
again for your help with Sedonis. Whatever happens with the Collectors or the Reapers or whoever else comes after us, I know you'll get the job done.
I couldn't do this without you, Garrus.
Sure you could. Not as stylishly, of course. It's strange going into a suicide mission on a human ship. Your people don't prepare for high-risk operations the way Turians do.
I thought you'd be used to high-risk operations on human ships. I mean, think about tracking Saren to Ilos.
Sure, but that was quick. We raced out, landed, blew up some Geth, and saved the galaxy. This time we've got Miranda and Cerberus and that AI all telling us what we're up against. I think I preferred blind optimism.
Honestly, Garrus, what do you think our chances are?
Honestly, the Collectors killed you once, and all they did is piss you off. I can't imagine they'll stop you this time. But an unmapped area, advanced technology, and the Collectors. We're going to lose people. No way around that. Not a happy analysis, I know. Don't worry. I won't spread it around. And I'm with you regardless.
Do you ever regret leaving CSEC or the Turian military?
Not for a minute. When it comes down to it, Shepard, I don't think I'm a very good Turian. When a good Turian hears a bad order, he follows it. He might complain, but he knows his place. I just don't see the point in staying quiet and polite. Not when the galaxy is at stake.
How do Turian crews get ready for high-risk missions?
With violence, usually. Turian ships have more operational discipline than your alliance, but fewer personal restrictions. Our commanders run us tight, and they know we need to blow off steam. Turian ships have training rooms for exercise, combat sims, even full-contact sparring. Whatever lets people work off stress.
You mean Turian ships have crewmen fighting each other before a mission?
It's supervised, of course. Nobody's going to risk an injury that interferes with the mission, and it's a good way to settle grudges amicably. I remember right before one mission, we were about to hit a Batarian pirate squad. Very risky. This recon scout and I had been at each other's throats. Nerves, mostly. She suggested we settle it in the ring.
I assume you took her down gently?
Actually, she and I were the top-ranked hand-to-hand specialists on the ship. I had reach, but she had flexibility. It was brutal. After 9 rounds, the judge called it a draw. There were a lot of unhappy bettors in the training room. We ended up holding a tiebreaker in her quarters. I had reach, but she had flexibility. More than one way to work off stress, I guess.
Thanks for the talk, Garrus. I'll see you later.
Sure thing.
TMI. See if Grant has anything else to say. I don't think he does, but we'll see.
Shepard.
Just checking in. How you doing?
I'm branching out. Got a list of enemies now. They all give me joy when I picture cutting them, crushing them. There's this one imprint, a Solarian with the... what are they? The things on his head pulled apart? Bet it caused a generation of revenge. What is that, a few weeks for them? So what did you want?
You know, I kind of thought connecting with your past would bring stability.
See, now we're having fun. Me remembering good deaths, and you with your funny human thing you're doing. My job is to hurt things. Direction, control, that's your job, Battlemaster. You're why I'm a soldier, not dead or crazed like an animal. Thank you, Shepard. You gave me purpose. Now let's find something big to kill.
I think we might go ahead and do, oops, Project Overlord. And potentially give it a negative for lack of squad mate talking. I know we didn't really do that for Mass Effect 1, but I mean, Mass Effect 1 was something I actually reviewed, so. Like, I did kind of review it, but not really. Oh yeah, there's Tali too. Can't forget Tali. I'm pretty much 100% certain that there's nothing on these planets. It's just the home planet of Nichols. If I gave her the final thing of Paul. I wonder how this works. We didn't get the Firewalker yet.
Thank God you came. My name is Dr. Gavin Archer. The situation is urgent. We're facing a catastrophic VI breakout. I'll explain the details later, but you must retract that transmission dish. The controls aren't far from your position. You have to hurry.
Be advised, this is a secure facility. All weapons must be declared upon entry and checked with security personnel on duty.
Over here, on the monitor. There you are. I've locked myself in a computer room on the far side of the base. There are Geth on the loose. A rogue VI program has seized control, and I've lost a lot of friends today. I'd hate to see you join them. Please, watch yourself.
Be advised, this is a secure facility. All weapons must be declared upon entry and checked with security personnel on duty.
And looking at the DLC, this is like the one where I think squad, by memory anyway, the squad lack of squad mate dialogue felt the most egregious.
Status report. Please inform the elusive man that we've made great strides in our research. His doubts about the lack of progress are unwarranted. A demonstration is forthcoming.
like even counting the deal, the first game did only had one DLC. I felt like that even though the squad mates didn't have a lot to say, um, it um, uh, like there was enough other stuff picking up the slack, and I feel like the absence uh, in that DLC didn't really feel as egregious because the characters probably wouldn't have anything to say. You know, um, Firewalker, there's a few little bits and pieces, same of potential dialogue from squad mates, although they may be somewhat stock. Um, they do exist. Later, but Shadow Broker, the banter with Liara really picks up the slack for the lack of any kind of dialogue with, the third squad mate. Um, then, like, the Firewalker thing, there really isn't a whole lot of conversation in that, so. And there still, like, is a little bit of stock dialogue in there, too, so. Um, like, looking for everything. Then Arrival is just a solo mission. Spoilers. Minor, very minor spoilers, but Arrival is a solo mission for Shepard, so it actually entirely makes sense why there is no squad mate dialogue. So yeah, this is the one where, at least by memory, we'll see. It feels the most egregious. I think like I brought like Miranda and Jacob along. I think maybe the last time, if I remember correctly. And like there's Cerberus, especially Miranda, and that she has nothing to say about any of this. Now we have Jack. She's very anti-Cerberus, and she should be like, talking about how messed up this whole thing is, and how it's like further evidence of how terrible Cerberus is, and she doesn't say anything. So the fact that characters should have something to say, yet do not say anything, is a negative. I mean, I'll erase it if it just happens like Jack has something to say, but again, by memory, my memory is pretty good for these things. Um, I'm gonna put significant in there. Um, Okay, so here's my information negative. The lack of significant squad mate dialogue in the DLCs is merely disappointing for the most part. However, in Project Overlord, in particular, characters such as Jack and Miranda, in um, in particular, I'm using the word in particular a lot. Um, I'm just gonna say I'm gonna get rid of the first in particular. In Project Overlord, characters such as Jack and Miranda in particular should have things to say about the situation, to the point that it's distracting how they remain silent. So it detracts from the experience, basically. Whereas in everything else, other elements of what's going on pick up the slack, you know, of the DLC pick up the slack for the lack of significant squad mate dialogue. You know, sometimes there's little bits and pieces just to kind of remind you that they're there, and just to acknowledge that they're present and reacting to things. Um, even if it is effectively stock dialogue, or I imagine it is. But yeah, if they should have brought in the full cast for any of the DLCs, it should have been this. In fact, it would have been great if for the remaster they would like, okay, we're gonna call in Courtney Taylor and whoever voices Miranda, and maybe like the whole cast in a way, just to record just to fix up, to polish up this particular DLC, you know. But they obviously aren't going that far. Like, yeah, they're just doing what can be done without having to bring out, all the voice actors, bring them back in. Like, heck, while I had them, I probably would, restore um, Jack's bisexuality, I guess, or pansexuality, I guess. Or whatever the heck you want to call it. But anyway, yeah. I mean, I'm not really giving a negative for the fact that they didn't fix it. I'm giving a negative for the fact that the problem is there to begin with. If they fixed it, I'm not even sure if it would be a positive. Like, it could be. I mean, we do have a little bit of a precedent for improvements, which should include things that should be, should technically be standard. I think I did that a couple times in Myst. I'm not sure to what extent I did. I guess there's the dial for the tower rotation, for example. That's probably something I would not have necessarily given a positive for on its own. If it weren't an alteration from the original game. It's not to say that like a dial should be standard. It's just that as a way to like manipulate things. It's just that if that were the way it was controlled, I probably would have just been like, oh, like that's how I interact. That it would just be the way I interacted with the puzzle. Again, like I said before, particularly in a game like Myst, control. Oh, ow, ow, ow. It's something in these kinds of puzzles is something you kind of can take for granted when it's done well. Therefore, there weren't very many positives or negatives, and the negative just happened to slightly overcome the negatives to an extent where it actually brought down the overall score by one. Um, yeah, but that does kind of set the precedent for, if this were added to, if they went for the trouble of adding new voice acting to this DLC, I would give it a positive. Because when it comes to a remake or even a remake remaster, any changes for the better, even if those changes are just something I would just maybe potentially overlook, um, or take for granted if that were just the way the game was, or if I weren't aware that it was an alteration from the original. Um, granted, it's possible that I didn't bring Jack with the team the first time I went for here, and that uh, Jack does have things to say. I don't believe she does. I mean, we'll see. Like, I can remove the negative if it turns out that they either added dialogue or there always was dialogue. Because I feel like she's the most egregious because she is the one who, like, Miranda, maybe. Like, maybe she could make up some excuses or just be like, oh, this is not the service that I believe in, or whatever. Um, Stuff like that, I think would be reasonable to have her talk about. I would, if I were doing this, I would bring in the full cast so that, it's just that Miranda and Jack would probably have the most significant bits of extra dialogue, whereas everyone else would just be kind of generically appalled by what's going on, in their own particular way. But, the most effort would probably be going into fleshing out Jack and Miranda's reactions in particular. Anyway. I think you could potentially make out what they're actually saying. I'm not sure if it should be a information negative that the subtitles don't. Like, that's pretty cool.
This is an automated security update. Gang activity has been...
I'm probably giving the information positive for the way they present the AI as it's trying to stop you from. It's inventive in execution. I might just make a note about it, like the unintelligibleness. Okay, I don't know, but I think that you can kind of like if you're listening carefully to what he's saying, you can probably like make out what he's actually saying, especially if you have like the context of knowing what's actually going on. I kind of have some context, but not quite enough. Unintelligent gab. I didn't write the full word down. It's funny because I have only like this. I think has actually kind of opened my eyes to what should be a standard for hearing impaired players. Sorry, I'm taking too long. Um, anyway, like I feel like my suggestion for this would be to have like just scattered letters, like kind of broken speech, so that like if you're hearing impaired or if you just if your acuity, you know, in my case, like I kind of know what's going on here, like in general. I don't know like all of the details. I can't remember all the details, but I know like what the source of all of this is and how messed up it is. Um, but I still can't quite make out what he's saying. Um, Dang it. Yeah, it's make it stop.
Please remain at your workstations until the all clear is given.
It might always be make it stop, so. But again, you can't. If you're hearing impaired, or if you're like me and you just don't have the ability to listen to it that closely without any context clues. Yeah, music here is pretty good too. But I already mentioned like atmosphere in general, so.
Today's lunch special is filet with egg salad.
I see you.
Can't get a lock. Can't reach the target.
Hey!
Can't target. Can't get a lock.
I think if you can tell that it's make it stop, it's like, what?
Memo to all project personnel. Congratulations on your hard work. Tomorrow we make the next leap forward. It'll be a great day for Cerberus and an even greater day for humanity.
Was there something in here I could recover? Or did I already recover it? I guess I may have already recovered it. And of course, classical music. I think it's distorted. Creepy breathing noise in the background of it too. Oh god. I wonder what classical composition this is.
Damn it all. He's aligning the dish to a new upload target. He'll have a clear line of sight to our satellite. This is going to be tight.
Arriving at dish access. Attention. Satellite broadcast window is opening soon.
Yeah, something as simple as make it stop would probably be a little hard to do. Again, I'm not giving it a negative. I'm just saying that I'm also gonna be like knowing exactly what it is he says. I'm gonna see if I can make it out.
To the left.
To the left, to the left. Hey, there is dialogue. Really? Sorry about that. I'm a vanguard, so this is kind of what I do.
This is Project Overlord with an emergency message to Cerberus Command. We've experienced a catastrophic security failure and are requesting assistance. What do you mean our outgoing comms are jammed? How can it do that?
There's invariably refers to the VI as either it or he.
Satellite broadcast window is opening soon. All upload data must be approved by your department supervisor.
What?
Satellite broadcast window is opening soon. All upload data must be approved by your department.
I probably should try to eat full on him.
Can't reach the target.
Destroy you.
Can't get a lock.
Pretty much all of my shippers are vanguards. Be interested if we could change our class to get in mass spec, right? I don't think we can.
You need to destroy the support threads now. They have their own capacitors. Try blowing them up.
Oh no. Too soon? Too soon, man. Too soon. They should have cut the scene out of the game. This is completely insensitive.
Over here! What the hell is going on around here?
Man's reach exceeding his grasp. Come on, I'll explain. You bought us some time, though probably not much. This isn't over yet.
Who did you say you were?
Dr. Gavin Archer, chief scientist at this facility, and probably the only one left.
Who are you again?
You owe us that explanation.
This is Project Overlord, an attempt to gain influence over the Geth by interfacing a human mind with a VI. The results have been less than satisfactory.
I'd hate to see what you'd call a disaster.
You can't dismiss the entire project. We did succeed. At least partially. My brother, David, volunteered to serve as a test subject, but his mind couldn't handle the VI connection. He's like a virus now, infecting our networks and seizing control of any technology he finds. It's why you had to destroy the dish. Imagine if his program got off-world.
How does he take control of electronics?
This is a hybrid intelligence the likes of which I've never seen. I don't know where the man ends and the machine begins.
What's the worst-case scenario?
A technological apocalypse. Every machine, every weapon, every computer could be turned against us. If he hit the extranet, who knows where it would end?
You should have considered that before you started the experiment.
We couldn't be expected to account for every outcome. Certainly not the abomination David has become. David, the VI has fortified itself in the main laboratory at Atlas Station. It's in lockdown now. To enter, you need to manually override security from our facilities in the Prometheus and Vulcan stations.
How does the lockdown work?
It's a fail-safe procedure in the event of an emergency. Normally, all 3 project leads have to agree to cancel the lockdown. I'm the only one left now. I can give my authorization, but you'll have to manually reset the other 2 yourself.
What happens if I have to kill your brother?
Let's just hope it doesn't come to that.
What went wrong with the experiment?
David volunteered to interface with the VI to give it genuine consciousness. Theoretically, it should have been safe, but with artificial intelligence, there's no such thing as safe.
Then you shouldn't have attempted it.
And what if you'd never attempted to find the Reapers, Commander Shepard? Where would the galaxy be then? Sometimes you have to ignore the risks.
Tell me more about Project Overlord.
We wanted to turn the Geth's religious impulse into a weapon. When we saw them following Saren, we realized they could be swayed. And if a proper figurehead was created, a virus with a face, if you will, the Geth might be controlled.
That's an ambitious undertaking.
It would be the perfect weapon. Victory without casualties. We could avoid war with the Geth altogether. That was the plan, anyway.
I'm heading out now.
The other stations are all within driving distance. Best of luck, Commander.
I mean, I guess, like, they had them off, like, gathering up dead bodies. So, you can kind of explain why they aren't saying anything. And I think this would be just a little different. We wouldn't be using our own hammerhead. There'd just be one here that we use. I imagine.
Commander, you need to find Vulcan and Prometheus stations and override the lockdown from each facility. Doesn't matter which one you hit first, but you can't enter Atlas Station until you've dealt with both. Also, keep an eye out for Cerberus security mechs. The VI has likely taken control of them. Archer out.
Huh. Have to give an information positive now for still gonna save. I may or may not give it a negative for the inability to save while you're inside the firewalker, though. It depends on whether or not they've also included we're not gonna dilly dally too much at this point. Although it also makes you drop off your cliff here. It's not like proper pathfinding. I do like that. I might also say that this planet's gorgeous. Yes, the Hammerhead VI just encouraged me to give a positive. Probably like the most well art directed planet in the game, maybe. I might also potentially consider a positive for the open world kind of approach to this. Which would probably be a control positive, I imagine. I mean, these particular creatures exist across the I'm not sure whether or not to give it, or to rescind my negative, or to maybe add just a positive that kind of cancels out the negative. Although I don't really, that would not be any intention of canceling out the negative. Because I feel like just having the other people in the group off doing something else while you're having a conversation and learning about these things. Also, I can't really do that at this point because we haven't played for the entire thing yet. Like, there's gotta be I'm pretty sure there will be a point somewhere where Jack or Miranda should be saying something about what's going on and aren't. Like, I think that's going to be a fact at some point. They can't always have them off, gathering up the dead or, otherwise indisposed from responding to Shepard's conversations. Heck, the way that they're always indisposed is going to start to become a distraction, or a problem, I guess. For lack of a better way to put it. The developers are doing their best with what they're given, but that doesn't excuse the like a terrible missed opportunity. Of course, it's Firewalker, so there always has to be lava. Damn it, I had supper yet. Okay. That's interesting.
Scanning area. Analysis. Vending stations provide adequate velocity to enhance vehicle lift.
That's neat. I'm not sure if it's gonna be positive, would it be?
Scanning area. Analysis. Debris field provides adequate support.
Oh man. I don't know if I have bad memories of this because I failed a lot, or if I have bad memories about it because of how stressful it is. Just from on a conceptual level. We're not giving you a negative yet because It's reasonable. Really?
Thruster velocity is inadequate to clear the wall ahead.
That's actually good. I'm not gonna say.
Automated controls are offline. Core systems have been compromised.
Heads up!
Yeah, I completely missed any of what the AI is saying.
Warning. Pressure levels in valve A3 have exceeded maximum threshold. Manual
Engineer's log. We've registered a huge spike in energy consumption. My technicians traced it to the experiment underway at Atlas Station. We're trying to raise them now.
warning. Pressure levels in valve A3 have exceeded maximum threshold. Manual control is required.
This is one of the more complicated ones. I tell you before I solve it quickly.
Venting outflow successful.
I can't quite tell. You can kind of tell a little bit. It probably could have done a better job, although maybe as we progress it will become more intelligible. Or slightly more intelligible, I don't know. It's a creepy sound, but I think it would be. I will admit that, like, again, I'm not even giving it a negative, but a phrase as simple as "make it stop" would be very difficult to break up in a way where, like, you couldn't get it. Until it took the playthrough. Here's another one. And now we have to. Oh my god. That's not quite negative yet. It's kind of getting there. It's pushing the boundaries of what I consider acceptable. Like, I had to be objective. The fact that it's stressful doesn't make it bad. Like, the fact that I make it through my first try, if even barely, is good. Yeah, it's good. We're good. This is a good game. Is this where we're heading? Oh man. I might have to give it another negative for the inability to quick save. I don't know about the autosave though. Like, it autosaved like 3 minutes ago, so yeah, like the autosaves are actually decent. I might have to give it a positive for the lava flow. As much as I hate it, it's stress-inducing and it's supposed to be. I was going to say panic-inducing.
We've been spotted.
I love being a vanguard. I actually think I can give. I actually had to like replay this and try being a different class. I might argue that being a vanguard is almost like too rewarding. Like, not that it's unbalanced, just that I get like a feeling of like why play as anything else. Or if there are like rewarding aspects to playing as other classes, then it's actually kind of like I get the sense that to some extent each class has its own like, at least in Mass Effect 2 has its own signature feature. Like Mass Effect 1 was more like, okay, you know, you have a series of features for each class, but like there's still um if I had any idea of like how far I was going with the review system, I probably would have tried to actually play a different class just to see how rewarding the other classes are. Unfortunately, I have to like probably replay the game like damn it. Why is there a Yuri mech in the... That was really easy. Where'd my LA go to? Okay.
I hear you, Doctor. We've hit the override at Vulcan Station and are moving on.
out.
If I don't do it, Jack does. I just leave in the punk for Jack. I'm a paragon. But I mean, I'm generous. I'm gonna have to take like a. The problem is I don't think I can save.
Commander, that was a daring piece of work. Vulcan Station was a success. You still need to go to Prometheus Station and override the lockdown from there. Good luck.
Geographic conditions indicate an aesthetically pleasing view nearby. Organic life forms may wish to take note. Threat detection. Enemy units nearby. Another Cerberus data packet has been recovered. 4 more remain.
I might just grab me some snacks here. I guess just fresh water. This is getting kind of warm. Okay, invisible wall. It is then. Okay. That looks like I could. Looks like something I could jump up on or something. Oh, behind the waterfall. It's always behind the waterfall.
Another Cerberus data packet has been recovered. 3 more remain.
Positive for secrets behind waterfalls. I mean, there's not actually taking it about the positive, but that's because secrets behind waterfalls are actually part of the course. So, you know, if you had a waterfall and there was no secret behind it, that would be a negative. Because why if you put a waterfall in the game if you're not going to have some kind of. Oh, that's nice. Roll positive for emergency reset. We can elaborate on it further. Ellie, if you want to play, you need to go find somebody else. I know there is nobody else. How's it going, Ellie? Kisses? Not for you, they're chocolate. You just can't have chocolate.
Scans indicate VI infection is present in nearby turrets.
Negative. I swear, if I lose I know I already gave it for the Firewalker, but I'm going to give it here again. I mean, I'm only going to give one this time. But I think before I gave it a negative for lack of autosave and negative for lack of ability to save. Here I'm just going to give it a general negative for both. For both the lack of autosave. So overall, you know it's getting 3 negatives. And it's actually one of those things where it's bad and continues to be bad. I'm applying it here. Now, I'm only applying it because these are 2 separate DLCs. Like, that's the rule here. Like, I don't necessarily give an additional negative to something because it's bad and continues to be bad. In this case, I'm giving it because it's bad. It's bad in one DLC, and is still bad in another DLC when they could have remedied it. Like, I know, like, these DLCs are standard, but that's even more reason why it should be fixed. And even more reason because they've had, like, 10 years, or however long since Mass Effect 2 came out. It may actually be more than 10 years? I can't remember when Mass Effect 2 originally came... Mass Effect 2 originally came out. I think it may actually be over 10 years ago. Because I think it may have been before Skyrim. Yeah, so they've had like a decade to contemplate their mistakes. And they still haven't changed it. And there's like no real reason for them not to have autosave or quick saves in this level. Like, just be thankful I'm not giving it 2 negatives like I did for Firewalker. I think I may have given it 2 negatives for the Firewalker DLC. I could go back for the sake of consistency and make it 1 negative for the lack of quick saves and auto saving and any ability to save while you're in the Firewalker in general.
Station was a success. You still need to go to Prometheus Station and override the lockdown from there. Good luck.
I might also give it a negative for lack of cover and space to maneuver. In fact, I might give it that. Like, I may or may not eliminate it, but just that one death and a few of the near deaths that I've had make it feel like they didn't put as much thought into the positioning of these turrets. Now, granted, a lot of these turrets are optional, but that doesn't change the fact. Like, for a player who concerns themselves with collectibles and completionism, like I'm not a hardcore completionist. So I don't go for like getting all of the achievements. For example, if getting all if there are like ridiculous achievements like playing the game on the hardest difficulty, like I'm not that kind of completionist, but I do like to like generally do everything that there is to be done.
Geographic conditions indicate an aesthetically pleasing view nearby. Organic life forms may wish to take note. Threat detection. Enemy units nearby.
I should probably give another negative for the lack of a damage indicator, but I think the one suffices. Invisible wall. No, not quite. What the heck is that turret thing that I wasn't able to avoid? He had some pterodactyls. That's why we're. Yeah, this is where we're supposed to be heading. I feel like I should, like, maybe go. Like, once I get free of these, I probably should just go to the main station and save. Because that's the only way to save. It's an interesting outcropping that there's no reason to go to. I don't think there's any reason to go to that outcropping either, actually.
Hostile activity detected.
I'm starting to consider the possibility of, I'm starting to kind of feel like I might rescind the, I'm definitely not going to rescind the negative for, lack of autosave. Or saving in general.
Another Cerberus data packet has been recovered. 2 more remain.
I mean, even if like I can go back to like the main hub and then save, isn't going to remove the negative. Or the hub, whatever the heck you call it. Like the main station, I don't know. This is where it was? This is where it was. Well, if I find it, I'll... We can't go back. If we could go back and save there, that might actually be a positive. That would sort of cancel out the negative. But no, we can't. So... then it's not going to be a negative because that's just an extension of the existing negative. Are we running into invisible walls? If I were to give it a negative, that would be bad invisible wall placement. I'm not quite sure under which circumstance an invisible wall would be considered acceptable. Like, in something like Skyrim or uh, or Fallout 4, where you just have a world boundary and adding like actual physical barriers to the edge of the world would be tricky.
Scans indicate VI infection is present in nearby turrets.
Oh. If this is a new one. And they have range, unlike the other, like the Geth. And they heal between. So I'm somewhat inclined to still keep a negative.
Another Cerberus data packet has been recovered. One more remains.
Finding it. Yeah, I'm really considering looking for a walkthrough. Alright, went down here. think we've already yep, okay. I could consider giving an information positive for the vehicle AI. Might be new. I guess we'll see. Nope, it's not new. It is nothing new. Negative something. Positive to something. Right, able to see that. There could be something near the path to Prometheus.
Initiating emergency reset.
What? Is that glitch or just by design? If I get too close to Prometheus Station, or was I like literally going out of bounds? Whoa! No! No, we're not going to Prometheus Station.
Commander Shepard.
The rig? You gotta be kidding me! Like, I'm pretty sure we can go back. Like, it's almost 11 o'clock. I might just consider ending the stream here. I'm not sure what I give it a negative for this. It's just that it gave the impression that you had to push the button to progress.
Commander Shepard, Prometheus Station is a crashed Geth ship full of dormant machines used in our experiment. Our people
gone silent. It's likely the VI has activated the defense shields to keep you out. Good luck.
I hate to end on a kind of downer note, but it's not that big a downer note. It's just like I was hunting for this final Cerberus information cache, and then suddenly I'm in this mission and I can't leave. I might just keep it negative for like inability to like really backtrack. Yeah. A negative for the inability to backtrack. Once you enter one of the stations, you literally cannot return to the hub until you've completed the mission there. You also cannot return to the main base, which would be a convenient and safe location to save my progress. No, I'm not letting that go. Just be thankful that I am ruling this into the backtracking negative rather than making it yet another negative for the inability to save in the Firewalker. There is literally no reason why you should not be able to save in the Firewalker. Now, if you're engaged in combat, that is the rule that the game has already established, and that is a rule that makes a certain degree of sense because you don't want to necessarily save the game when you're like dangerously low on health, or like in the middle of combat, you're dangerously low on health. You accidentally save or quick save or something, and now you're in an infinite death loop. That's one thing that can benefit the player. With regard, that's one way that like the inability to save in the middle of combat benefits the player. It also benefits the designer a little bit, where you can't like really save scum your way through combat. Um, I mean, I'm sure that's possible in some scenarios. I mean, it is a double-edged sword to be clear, and I think it's more clearly in against the player to have the ability to quick save or save it all during combat. Um, but I'm sure there's ways you could exploit that ability too. Um, but again, I see no reason why you should not be able to save while you're in the Firewalker. Maybe there was some technical reason why that just wasn't feasible. Like that's the only thing I can think of, and even if it's a technical reason, they could have found a way to deal with that. If not when they originally designed the game, then when they remade, remastered, and polished the game for this re-release. There's yeah. It doesn't create a new negative, but it certainly contributes to the lack of the inability to backtrack. Because you can accidentally trigger it, even though they have like a button prompt. That would be an information negative if I felt it were bad enough to constitute its own negative, which it really isn't. Um, the control negative is enough. Information is a part of it because the fact that you can accidentally, like, there is a prompt that you're about, that is kind of like you're about to enter it, but really it just looks like, I need to push this button. I was a little skeptical about whether or not that would be it, but it feels like it would have been sufficient for it to say, entering this zone is maybe a subtle way to like warn the player that like you're about to enter this new zone. And granted, there should have just been the ability to backtrack if you accidentally go in there. That would have been sufficient. Instead, like you head for there and it just turns you around. It's like no, no. Like that is a control negative. Actually, I'm gonna make that a further note. It's not gonna make the negative worse. It's just gonna make a further note. I'm using a lot of all caps here. The game literally turns you around. It literally takes the controller out of it, like that, literally. It figuratively, it literally figuratively takes the controller out of your hand and it's like, no, you're going this way. You're committed to this mission. When you're literally taking control away from the player, that is almost always going to be a negative. Of some kind. How many negatives it's going to constitute may vary. And again, my substitute for the idea of something getting multiple negatives is that, or negatives being weighted, is that if I can come up with, if something irritates me enough, and I can also come up with another reason why it's bad, that either like relates to control or information or both, then I will give it another negative. Sometimes if there's multiple things wrong with it, and I feel like the multiple things wrong with it don't have a cumulative effect of making it worse, like even worse, basically, then it will just be, I'll make notes about each of the points. I'll roll it into one. So it's similar to Lowrider, but not quite. like Lowrider's policy for giving multiple negatives for a single issue is whether or not the issue continues to be a significant problem as you progress through a game. Whereas mine is like, okay, does it really bother me? Is it a multifaceted issue? Then I will potentially break it down into the facets and use that as my means of giving it multiple negatives. Or, multiple positives in some cases. Like, heck, in this case, like, I'm giving it probably more positives than I maybe even should for, like, each of the loyalty missions. Like, I could roll all the loyalty missions into one. Especially since they're fairly consistent in their quality. Or, maybe even one or two. Or three or four. Because there's just so many characters and so many loyalty missions for all the characters that, it's potentially going to have a an effect on the overall final review score. But then again, I don't know how much of an impact it's going to have. Like, I'm imagining this could be an 8 or 9 out of 10. Like, there is a threshold, especially with the you know, the fact that it is a ratio of, like, good to bad that determines my final score, basically. Along with, like, a margin of error of 1. Which I recently added, and I'm kind of retroactively applied to my Mr. View. Although I don't know how I'm going to actually apply it. But just like call it my final review, and I'm like, okay, do I go and make another review, like another addendum to it? Because I actually was thinking I could actually try and properly write up a review based on my notes, and kind of more doing it in a more summarizing type of a way. Because I think my video it got a lot of views. I know it got like a lot of engagement or new subscribers. So I'm like, I should just do final review or something like that. Like, I don't know. Because I tried two approaches to it. One was to do an hour and a half reading of all my notes from throughout everything. And then my other technique was just to go over all the final scores and then add them up and kind of integrate some of my thoughts in there, like off the cuff. But I don't think I did I'm not sure if I did a particularly good job. Anyway, I'll probably potentially do that. Apply that to doing a review if I do like any kind of review, standalone review video for Mass Effect 2. I will probably try and see how well I can like summarize my thoughts on the various aspects of the game. Yeah. Anyway, let's actually move on. So there's a bunch of things you can do. It'll take a few seconds of your time, as well as other things that are a little more involved than that. But of course, it's all optional. And in any case, I thank you for watching. And until next time, ta